don't stop here, nigga. Stop here, nigga. Stop here, nigga. Yeah. Back when I was young, I had dreams of getting richer. Then my homie Breeze set me down, schooled me to the picture. I was with some wild niggas, put me on the game. Told me if you tryna make your move, you gotta know your lane. Homie, all you got your name, and your words will never break it. For this life you pay a price, you get a chance, you gotta take it. Cause most niggas never make it, they stranded where I'm from. Ain't no conversation, all they understand is get a gun. I was riding in my Bonneville, hoping I could make it out. Selling peas and smoking weed, avoiding police right up the street. Way back in the day before I had all of this paper, before I had all of these diamonds, before I had all of these haters. Now I remember when I seen it and to me it was stunting. Now I remember when I bought it, I ain't needed or nothing. Always in a different state, so now they label me a goner. I ain't come up out of nowhere, I'm from straight up off the corner. Everywhere we go, they probably know my name cause I've been there. Now everywhere we go, they saying how much I spend when I'm in there. And I'm throwing up my money for the ones who never made it. Saying fuck the ones who hate it. Rolling up and celebrate, now let's get medicated. Man,
Let's get educated. Let's get educated.
Man, I'm elevated.
I'm hard to hate it.
Man, let's get medicated.
Let's get educated. Let's get educated.
Man,
I'm
I'm
hard to hate
elevated.
it. I'm hard to hate it. This is the Listen Doctor Radio, and I am your host, Listen Doctor. I know y'all just heard my theme song to the show. That is the official theme song of the show, and it is Heather Faded. But my words, let's get educated, and I'm Heather Hated. That is the new theme song, because to be educated, you have to be hated to be educated. And I know you've seen the tags and everything on the show is about government politics, and I'm gonna play a quick brief clip of I think it was the Black State of the Union 2001, I believe it was. I want y'all to listen and hear what this black lady was saying about the way the world is being put out for people. And I just want y'all to listen to what she was saying about something. And it, after I tell you this, it'll make you feel like I feel about certain shit. Pay attention and listen.
The reason why we're so pleased to have the covenant, and this is the best part of our action plan, is to reclaim the minds of our children. They went into the black homes now, the powers that be, and told us that you cannot discipline your children anymore, and if you discipline your children, you were going to jail. Is this kind of thing they told us. Then they went into the public schools and took discipline out of there. So when we act...
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm having some difficulties with my phone and my other information, so let me go ahead and start that over for
The
you.
reason why we're so pleased to have the covenant, and this is the best part of our action plan, is to reclaim the minds of our children. They went into the black homes now, the powers that be, and told us that you cannot discipline your children anymore, and if you discipline your children, you were going to jail. Is this kind of thing they told us. Then they went into the public schools and took discipline out of there. So when we acted up in there, they put our boys, our black men, into something called special ed classes. And as you know, those special ed classes are nothing but holding cells until they can go to the state prison. But this is what they did. And then, the one thing that they knew, that if we can put them in prison, if we can have them convicted for a felony, then once they get out of prison, they cannot get a job because of that. They cannot get the job. And then if they happen to eke out and find a job, then they have to pay taxes on a job, yet they cannot vote, and I call a taxation without representation. That's what we're looking at. And if one of the things that we would learn to do, they did a grand thing when they took that discipline away from us, because when they made our parents afraid to discipline the children, then what happened? We found out that the teachers were afraid of the principals were scared of the superintendents was scared of the school board was scared of the parents were scared of the children, and the children ain't scared of nobody.
Now this was State of the Black Union, I believe 2001 or 2002 edition of the State of the Black Union. And in this part, this lady was saying some real shit about how the world has became. And not only, I'm going to touch bases on what she didn't touch base on. Not only did they take away discipline out of schools, they took away of God out of schools. They took away God out of everyday life. You can't pray to yourself. You can't say grace. You can't talk about a friend and tell a friend about God. You can't do certain things about religion. And it made it so uptight that when you felt a certain way about a certain position or a certain way in school, you couldn't speak your voice on it. And I think it's really fucked up that we would have people in our state seatings that would do things like this. And it's a lot of bullshit going on, and I play that to say I want you to get yourself educated. Listen to this soundbite of just what has the governor of Bobby Jindal has been doing to the state of Louisiana. Just listen to the soundbite of what he's been doing.
Which brings me to Bobby Jindal. My God, you talk about somebody who's tried to bankrupt a state. He has ransacked Louisiana, hasn't he? It is just absolutely amazing.
He has.
Tell us his story about what Bobby... Before we even begin the Bobby Jindal discussion, to understand how creepy this guy is, this is the guy that performed, in all seriousness, performed an exorcism on his roommate because his roommate had been out drinking too much. He brought in the preachers, he brought in the holy water, and performed an exorcism, in all seriousness, to get rid of the evil spirits in his roommate. Now, of course, he becomes governor of Louisiana. No surprise there either. But now he's ransacked Louisiana. What's his story about?
Well, Louisiana is really one of the worst states in the country because they have the worst governor in the country. It didn't always have to be this way, but he has pushed them to the point where they're nothing more than a corporate tax haven. That's where corporations go to get these huge handouts from the state government and give them absolutely nothing in return. Jindal has bankrupted the state. He has the 35th worst job creation record in the country. And now he thinks that he wants to bring this kind of corporatism, because this isn't even republicanism or capitalism. This is pure corporatism. He wants to bring that to Washington, D.C. Now, what he's done in the state...
Well, let's back up just a little bit. Here's what you can't miss about this story. The story is Jindal went there with the idea that education needs to be run by corporations. Medicine needs to be run by corporations. Our voting needs to be run by corporations. That the regulatories need to be replaced. The replacement should be regulatory ombudsman, corporate ombudsman, who say, look, we don't really need regulations because we have somebody within our corporation that's looking to make sure we do things right. This is all part of his plan. This is exactly what he thought he should do. He even thought safety nets, such as welfare programs, needed to be corporatized. He thought the prisons needed to be corporatized. So it is down. The history's there. We see that this corporatization of a state results in the disaster that Bobby Jindal brought to Louisiana.
Right, and he's cut more than $500 million from the education system.
$500 million.
While at the same time handing out $11 billion to corporation, which includes every episode of Duck Dynasty that airs. The state of Louisiana gives those guys $330,000.
$330,000, but you cannot get a fucking homeless veteran, a fucking place to stay, or a person who's dealing with mental issues.
For running Duck Dynasty, that is how corrupt Bobby Jindal is. He's paying money to have this show on the air, and that's the only reason, in my opinion, that this show is still alive out there, is because Bobby Jindal wants it to promote the state of Louisiana.
You use the term, this is one of the worst states in the union. What you meant by that is, from the standpoint, if we analyze education,
right,
it's the worst. From the standpoint of child morbidity, it's the worst. From the standpoint of graduates from school, it's the worst. I mean, I could go down the list. It's endless. But Bobby Jindal brought that to Louisiana with his notion of we're going to corporatize everything. And if you listen to him talk right now, that's what he's talking about for the entire nation.
And I want everybody to understand what Bobby Jindal is really trying to do. He's really trying to set up a corporate world. Like, everybody in New Orleans used to be able to do an application. You go on the side of a restaurant and say, "Oh, y'all hiring?" You say, "Yeah, we hiring." "Nah, we got applications." Go down to an application, write the application out. Go ahead and go home, wait, get a call. Now everything is, "You hiring?" You go to a place, "Are you hiring, guys? Are you hiring?" "Yes, but you have to go online." Now you have to go online to do every fucking application. You have to go online to do every job. Even to work for fucking Mickey D's, you have to go online to go fill out an application. You have to go online for everything. And the reason he's doing is because he know his plan is to cut libraries. He know a lot of black people don't have computers. He know a lot of poor black people who's struggling, working a minimum wage fucking job, doesn't have technology to have a computer, of the money or the funds to go get a computer or internet. Even if they have a computer, a lot of them don't have fucking internet. He knows this. So what he's saying is, you know what, let me cut some shit. Let me make everything on the computer now. Everything's that way now. But in the way Louisiana is mostly like that. You go to Atlanta, they still got paper applications. You go to Texas, they still got paper applications. In Louisiana, you hardly see a job give you a paper application. And if it's a bitch ass bullshit ass job, let's say that, they give you a paper application. But everything for high paid, you have to go online to do everything. And a lot of people don't have the technology, the money, the time, the fucking effort, the skill to go on the internet and use the computer. And I'm tired of our government doing this to us. And it needs to be solved, man. It needs to be brought to attention, because if we keep letting our government lie to us and tell us these bullshit ass stories about how they're gonna do this and how they're gonna do that, but we're not making them do it, we need to demand that they do this. We need to let them know, to get my vote, I want to see action. Even before you get in office, I want to see you come to my town. I want to see you talk to people, talk to veterans, talk to homeless veterans, talk to people on the streets. Let people know what you're trying to do. I will be back with part 2 of The Listen Doctor in one